I'd like to call this meeting of the Whitfield County Board of Commissioners to order for February 10th, 2025. Please silence or mute your cell phones. All that are able, please stand for Commissioner Robbins to give our invocation and pledge.
Let us pray. Our most kind, gracious Heavenly Father, we just thank you for who you are. Dear Father, we just thank you and pause to say thank you for all the blessings that you have bestowed upon us. Dear Father, we just thank you for this town, this county that we live in and that we serve, and help us to do our business by serving the public, dear Father, in an admirable way and pleasing to you. Now go with us and guide us. Forgive us where we fail you, and we give all the praise and glory to you. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May the record reflect we have all 5 commissioners present, and we have met our quorum requirements. The commissioners and the public were made aware of the agenda approximately 6 days ago. There's only one item to add, and that's an additional vehicle for public works, or trucks, 2 additional trucks, and that'll be at the end of the agenda. But we got everything else on there is added. Is there a motion to approve the agenda with that change?
Motion to approve. Second.
Motion by Commissioner Thomas, second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. There's our regular consent agenda items, nothing new there, just ratifying our past actions for amendments, purchase amendments during our last meeting. The minutes were also sent out last week. Are there any changes or edits to the minutes?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins to approve the minutes for our regular meeting in January. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We'll start off. If you recall, we've got 2 Employee of the Month. The first one is Christina Curtis. So I don't know if Brad or all the judges or who wants to come forward with that one, and then we'll do one for the Sheriff's Office. We got all kinds of judges here.
Judge Morris, it looks like they're going to put it on.
Yep, you're our speaker, Judge. Tell us about Christina. Oh. She works in our accountability courts.
I don't know what I'm supposed to say. Tina is what we call her. Christina Curtis has been an employee with me for quite a few years. She continues to go above and beyond in anything I ask her to do. This past year we have found ourselves short-staffed, and she more than willingly filled in as needed. She works diligently with our participants, and she works excellently with our staff, and I could not ask for a better employee in my department.
I'll just second that. Oh, in fact, I received a completion letter from a participant in our DV court today that thanked Tina specifically for always being there to listen to her and pay attention. But the other thing is she is so knowledgeable about drug testing and about the drugs that are available out there that we turn to her a lot, and we're just very appreciative to Tina for always going that extra mile.
Great.
So Tina, being the administrator of our drug lab, is the first person that most of our participants see on a daily basis when they show up for their random drug testing. And what I consistently hear is that there's a smiling face to greet them every morning with a great attitude, and it lifts their spirits up. And it's a great way for them, even though it's not a pleasant thing that they're doing, it's a great way to start their day, to see a friendly face who's there to give them a smile. And I would say that I always enjoy having Tina in our team meetings for mental health court. We really respect her opinions and her counsel in anything regarding drug use and drug testing. It's always great to have her there, and we really respect her. And I thank her for all that she adds to our teams.
Anybody that greets you with a smile and a plastic cup first thing in the morning.
Present this to you. Thank you so much, and Valerie will take our picture. Crooked. I know, she's expert. Thank you, appreciate it. And now, if Jeff Shields will come forward with the sheriff. It's good to get all our elected officials in our commissioners meeting. We're always glad to have y'all. Yeah, congratulations, good to see you.
So it's an honor to stand before you today to recognize one of our employees. Deputy Jeff Shields has been with the Whitfield County Sheriff's Office for 26 years. So to kind of give you a little bit of backstory on why he's receiving this award is his Sergeant Thorne, sitting right here, recommended him for this award. Last year, he and his wife were eating at a local restaurant when a customer there had started choking on their food. Well, while everybody panicked, Jeff put his training to use, jumped into action, and ended up doing the Heimlich maneuver and got the food dislodged and got her airway opened back up, ultimately saving her life. So it's an honor to be able to stand here and present this award to him. I can't thank you enough for everything that you do. Jeff shows up on time. He works hard. He also has a smile on his face at all times, and I'm sure all these judges here will second that. He's a great, outstanding employee, and I'm very, very honored, and thank you, Jeff. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we'll start off the next part of our meeting with the presentation from Prater's Mill. Ms. Cabe.
Good evening, Whitfield County Commissioners and other officials. My name is Lynn Cabe. I'm the president of the Prater's Mill Foundation. Thank you for the opportunity for the Foundation Board to share with you our accomplishments in 2024 and our goals for 2025 and beyond. The Foundation has provided responsible stewardship of the Prater's Mill Historic Site since 1971. It is our intention to continue in this role indefinitely. We have met or exceeded the requirements of our lease in 2024, and I have a PowerPoint slide, a couple of them on that in a minute. Our primary focus in 25 is to preserve and present the history and heritage of the site for the public. We propose to the county that you utilize the foundation to maintain and perpetuate the history and heritage of the site when it becomes a park. Recreation and public education pair well. The history of the historic site must not be lost when the site becomes a park. The foundation has the knowledge, experience, and a wealth of archival material to achieve this goal. We have secured the support from the Bandy Heritage Center to make it happen. Our vision is that Whitfield County residents and the surrounding community will enjoy the passive recreational opportunities available at Prater's Mill, as well as engaging opportunities to learn about the rich history and heritage of the historic mill complex. Okay, Jevin, I'm ready for the first slide, then the second slide. So in 2024, you have our 24 annual report in full, but these are just some highlights. We revised our purpose, our vision, and our missions. We established 11 goals with objectives, action plans, and target dates for completion, and you have the whole spreadsheet by email. We, as required by our lease, we paid for utilities, not just electrical, but you have the whole list there, totaling $3,900. Those porta toilets are expensive. Next in 24, next slide. Yep, thank you. We held general liability insurance for the historic site, and that was also expensive. This is not required by our lease, but we find that it is useful and valuable. We think it also provides protection for the county's liability. And there's more information in the full report about that. We, of course, do have special events liability insurance in the years that we offer the fair. We also manage grounds reservations, which is not required specifically by the lease. There's a lot of interest in grounds reservations, but not a lot of follow-through. We ended up having in '24 2 private events and 2 public events. We think that the interest will increase with the installation of restrooms on the site. We hosted 4 events to increase foot traffic on site. Greg Bruner leads a first day hike every year. We have a river cleanup every year. We had a heritage tour that Judy Alderman and Melanie did in September of the Gin and the Prater slave graves. In '25, we have an exciting Earth Day celebration plan to represent Whitfield and Dalton that's developing really nicely. Going to be a lot of family educational and informational activities April 19th. So we believe that we exceeded the terms of our lease. And then to the strategic goals. Thank you, Jevin. We will continue improving our internal processes, and we've done a lot on that. And again, you have that in the full report. To increase our efficiency and effectiveness, today was the first day for our new manager to start. We have a dynamite part-time person who is invested in what we're doing, and she's going to help us not just with office work, but with our strategic goals. We're very excited about that. We're improving our relationships with key organizations and individuals to support our success. We are so ready for an exciting and successful country fair in '25, especially with not being able to have it in '24. We are recruiting exhibitors, and we have just all kind of plans to make it over the top. We are continuing to focus on increasing foot traffic, and I mentioned the Earth Day event, April the 19th. We are continuing to curate the nature trail and nature preserve for public use and enjoyment, and Greg Bruner is leading that initiative, and he has done so much work. And I want to just say, I went on the first day hike. It wasn't my first time, but I'm just bowled over by that piece of property. It is a gem in the pocket of Whitfield County. We are going to continue curating it. It's beautiful. It includes so many wonderful and interesting features. You need to try it. We are going to begin, and we already have started, rehabilitating the historic Prater House to create a professional office space. We are prioritizing the curation of archives and development of exhibits to interpret the history and heritage of the Prater's Mill Historic Site. And I mentioned the Bandy Center is offering us any kind of assistance that we need, so that is exciting. And we're going to continue engaging our membership and supporters through newsletters. Our first digital newsletter came out in '24. We're continuing to publish those, and as well as social media. So in closing, we are requesting to meet with the county officials very soon to renegotiate and to continue our lease.
Do you have a date for the fair, so we can get that out, publicize it? October 11th and 12th, okay. Looking forward to coming back this year.
Yes.
All right, start with the reports of the commissioners. I'll kick us off with some good news. We were able to win, we just found out at the end of January, ACCG's County Excellence Award. So this is the second time in a row that we've won it. There's 159 counties, as many of you know, in Georgia, and only 6 were awarded this Excellence Award for this last year, and I don't think they were the same 6 the prior year other than us. So we may be the only repeat winner on that. So we won for our First Responders Fire Academy, and we'll be doing a article and some publicity around that. But it's a great program, very innovative, and it's really helped us get some new firefighters and some new blood into these positions that are sometimes hard to fill these days. And also, we're going to approve this later today, but I just want to put these names up here for our broadband committee. We asked for some delegates last year, and especially last meeting in January, and so I'm happy that these 6 people are willing to volunteer on this committee. Should start and finish in 2025, so I really appreciate them participating. Sometimes we get feedback about we see the same names up for nominations and for appointments and boards. So I can say this is a new list of names for most of it, for the most part at least. And we're happy to branch out. That was good feedback that we should try and find new blood and new people out in the county to be on our committees, whether it's SPLOST committees or the different boards that we appoint people to. So a new group of folks, and I think they'll do a great job making some recommendations. We have a grant that we already won, so this is part of fulfilling that grant to improve our broadband in the rural part of the county, and hopefully lay the foundation for future grants. That's the goals. Commissioner Jones. Anything for you, Commissioner Thomas? Commissioner Staton?
Yeah, I'd like to brag on the Trade Center. We don't do that often enough.
You're our delegate there, yes.
Or very rarely. At our annual, or not annual, monthly meeting, whatever, they had one of the most successful Decembers on record.
Okay.
So maybe we keep it up.
Yeah. Commissioner Robbins?
No report this month. We do have a library board meeting coming up in March, so,
Okay.
with our new director, so.
Very good. Our county administrator, Mr. Civic.
Thank you, Chairman Jensen. I want to piggyback on what your report. The Whitfield County has won the County of Excellence Award 2 years in a row. I think we are going to try for 3-peat,
Like the Chiefs.
but Patrick Mahomes, I've cut him from the team. He's not.
Okay.
His performance yesterday was terrible.
Some Yankee team won, I heard last night. I'm not sure who they are.
Okay, let's get on to some serious stuff, and I want to let everybody know, the public know, that on Tuesday, January 21st, at the 911 Center, your county staff was engaged in training for disaster preparedness training. And this just didn't involve first responders from the sheriff's office and the fire department and 911. It also involved people from the offices, the office building where I work. And the reason for that is disasters, whether we're talking about Hurricane Helene, which struck Augusta and Asheville recently, or the wildfires in the Los Angeles areas, it doesn't just involve the immediate response as far as protecting people and property. It's also involves rebuilding, rehabilitation. So the office folks were also trained in accessing federal funds from FEMA, coming together with a plan if there's extensive damage, et cetera. So I just want to emphasize that Whitfield County is preparing for the worst, but we're hoping for the best. Moving on to the next topic, the Accessibility Town Hall. That's going to take place on Thursday, February 20th at noon at our public library there on the corner of Waugh and Cap Street. That is handled by the let's see, where is the Northwest Georgia Center for Independent Living, and they're going to emphasize a number of things such as independent living skills, nursing home transition, home modifications, and emergency preparedness. Again, this is for people who are disabled or for the elderly. What we want to do is we want to keep people in their homes as long as possible, so we will be talking about independent living skills and perhaps modifications to a home in order to keep a person in that home for as long as possible. When that's no longer possible, to talk about transitioning into an assisted living facility. So that's open to the public. Again, Thursday, February 20th at noon at the public library. The last item that I wanted to promote was, it also takes place on Thursday, the 20th, but this is at 6 p.m. and it's in the Brooker Community Room at Edwards Park. It's a screening of Hidden Films. That's a documentary about rivers and streams in southern Appalachia. That's being sponsored by our partner, the Limestone Valley Resource and Development Council. They will be showing the documentary, which is very educational about the biodiversity of our area and our streams. And then there will be a panel discussion afterwards to discuss preserving natural resources, our rivers' biodiversity, and maintaining a healthy ecosystem. So that's all I have. Thank you.
Great. We'll move into our finance report, and Ms. Godfrey is out, so we've upgraded. We have our deputy here.
So I'm going to report on the December financials for 2024. Just want to let y'all know that these numbers may change with the, some journal entries from the annual audit. So we're started that today. So for Lost, we received 15.3 million year to date. For TAAVT, we collected 5.7 million year to date. For our revenue, we received 49.2 million year to date. And our expenses, we paid 63.8 million year to date. On total collected revenue through December, 49.3 million. Projected was 48.9, a little bit higher than we projected. Last year's, we received 60.2 million, and that's because we collected property taxes a little bit earlier last year. So on the next one, we have our expenditures. Our total expenditures paid through December were 63.3 million. Our projected were 64.1, so we're a little bit under that. Last year, we had 58.1 million expenditures paid. So the summary, revenue was 340,000 more than budgeted, and year-to-date expenditures were 247,000 less than budgeted. So we have a surplus of about 587,000.
And that includes the amendments that we approved last month. So you might have some things that the auditors need, but the big stuff is already in there.
Correct,
So we
yes.
should be close to that little less than $600,000 surplus. I think that'd be the fourth year in a row we've had a small surplus
Yes.
or better. Good.
Fund balance, so actual fund balance for December is 20.1 million. But that doesn't, for property taxes, if we had collected them like we should have 31.8 million in our fund balance. SPLOST revenue, for 2024 SPLOST, we've received $4.2 million, and we have expended about $3.6 million in December so far.
Any questions for Christian?
Just one. We've engaged a new accounting auditing firm. Are they fully engaged and on board now?
I think they're here even.
Yeah.
Jevin and I will be speaking to them, I think Thursday.
Wednesday or Thursday, yeah,
Wednesday or
yeah,
Thursday,
yeah.
Wednesday.
To avoid any snafus like we've been having, but
Yeah, we're starting, it's already February, and we're first week of February.
Normally,
second
we
week.
don't
No
start
news
until
is good
April.
news. I've not heard anything bad.
Normally, we don't start until April, and they're here today.
okay, good. Thank
So-
you.
That's 2 months early, yeah, that's
Yeah,
great.
it's looking great.
Excellent.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Is there a motion to approve the finance report as presented?
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins, second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Now we move into public comments. So this is anything that's on the agenda for tonight that you have a question or concern about. We're happy to entertain your comments now. We'll have another one at the end, of course, that can be on any topic that's on your mind. Is there anything agenda related?
It hasn't happened yet?
Yes, for the agenda for tonight.
If it's down here?
Yes, you can talk about it.
No?
Yes. We'll cover it later. You tell us what your opinion is now.
Okay.
We want to hear from you first.
I'm Charlene Caldwell. I live in
Address
Rocky.
too, yep.
I'm in Rocky Face, and I drive up over Doug Gap Mountain Road. Is that the hill? And we try really hard to keep that clean, and it's dirty a lot. But I'm coming to you to petition your workers who build our beautiful road to clean up the things they scrape off the reflectors. They scrape the reflectors off the road, and you find them all along the way. And they just did the road at the bottom, and I just was picking up trash this last time, and there was a whole bunch there too. All those reflectors are scraped up and just left on the side. And I'm not to blame them, but there's a lot of cigarette butts too. So I'm wondering if when they stand out there and they guard, if they're smoking and then throwing the butts on the ground. So I just come to you to petition your workers to love our land and to leave it better, which they do in the road, but everything better than they find it, and to clean up those little reflectors.
I suspect that was when we had the ice and they scraped, and they typically get scraped up with the ice and the snow.
Well,
So
but they
that's probably
re-
how they got removed,
But
but
they redid the road too.
oh, they repaved it?
They repaved the road down there, and they were all over the place.
Is this on your side or on the Dalton side?
On our side, Rocky Face side.
Rocky Face side, okay.
So, I mean, maybe if that's the case, but maybe that could be, I don't know.
I know that does happen. when
We
you spray
appreciate the road,
snow and
but
ice,
just
yeah.
make sure they
We can still
clean
clean it
up.
up, though, yeah. Yeah,
Well,
for
we're
sure.
cleaning it up, but I'm just hoping that that's not what they do. But if it was the ice issue where they did that, then I apologize that I'm accusing them, but, yeah. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments about the agenda tonight? All right, we'll move into the agenda now. So we'll start with Public Works, since you just mentioned that. So we have two annual contracts, one for road striping and one for our crushed stone that we use as part of the repaving. The crushed stone is $150,000 a year. The road striping is just as we need it. As Commissioner Thomas and I were talking earlier, we are buying a striping truck, but it won't be here till probably the second half of the year or late summer. So we'll have this as a contract to use as we need between now and then, or to fill in if once the truck comes here. These are annual. We do these every year, very similar amounts as last year. Is there any questions or concerns about these?
Motion we accept both of them.
Motion by Commissioner Jones to accept both contracts for this 2025. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Continuing with Public Works, this is for our tandem dump truck. We'd like to have two vendors. One is Tunnel Express, and then a backup for Wheat Trucking as our second one. They're both the same amount, but just like to have one as a primary since they give the best service of the two. I think that's the same amount as last year. Yeah. Motion by Commissioner Robbins Commissioner Jones to approve both contracts. Is there a second? I knew you were going to second that. Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. And some equipment. One item was left off. We'll pick that up at the very end, but these are the three SPLOST-related items. One is a service truck. There's 5 dump trucks. They're all part of the SPLOST that was approved last year. And then the striping, which we mentioned a minute ago, that will be about a 5 to 6 month delivery on that one. But that will be actually the last item on the 2020 SPLOST as far as Public Works equipment.
Is that the item that we're adding?
The item at the end is for F-150s,
Big trucks.
for the new hires, F-150s for some new hires. Any questions for Public Works on these? It's all were part of the SPLOST that was, as we mentioned earlier, citizens approved SPLOST. Motion to approve these 3 line items, a total of 7 vehicles. Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. And then also related to Public Works, we had an insurance claim. We were reimbursed $40,000. We'll use our internal staff as much as possible to repair the storage building out there at the Public Works facility. So just approve the budget amendment and accepting the $40,000 reimbursement. Motion by Commissioner Thomas. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion?
They've already started repairing that.
Okay, well, we'll get them some money now. We got a good grounds crew. They get right on it. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passed on a 4-0 vote. So if you recall, we had to spend some money, use some of our grant money on the food bank and their freezer issue and building structure. So now we're actually finally getting a little bit of money back from a grant that we can pay for that time lost and some of the issues with that storage of $61,000. So there's just a motion to ratify that grant. I did accept it the other day. Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. It's good to have some money coming in for that instead of going out. This is the broadband committee I mentioned earlier as part of a grant we also received last year. Now we're actually implementing that and trying to lay the groundwork for further expansion of broadband, which is now, as of January 1st, supposed to be 100 meg to every home, or is considered not high bandwidth. So we've got a lot of work to do in some of the areas outside of Dalton primarily. Motion to approve these 6 members for our broadband committee. Motion by Commissioner Thomas, second. Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Also somewhat related, I guess, to the connectivity is a learning program that we have with these excess grant funds that we receive. So there's a company in Chattanooga that will provide digital training, a company called Tech Goes Home. And we will use $15,187 from that ARC grant to help train local residents, whether it be seniors or school-age kids, to better use and leverage broadband and the internet. Motion to approve that MOU, or ratify it, I should say.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We put this on hold last month, but we have an agreement with our sheriff's office for that the chief deputy's F-150 truck for $60,000 out of the previous 2020 SPLOST. We did let them go ahead and purchase that. It was already here for delivery at Fort of Dalton.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton to ratify. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. And then one other item for the sheriff's office. This is the SRO agreement. So it includes a detective. It includes expanding the SROs beyond the high schools at Whitfield County to all the way to the elementary and secondary schools as well. So all schools will be covered with a total of 24 SROs, plus a detective and a safety, as well as some DARE folks for drug training. The schools do cover the vast majority of it, $350 per day per SRO. But when they're on PTO or in the summertime, we have to pick up the bill. So it's roughly $250,000 a year, starting next year, since we're already partway through this year. But that will be roughly the annual cost.
And it should be noted that during the summertime,
We'll put them to work, right?
they'll be doing other duties.
Yeah,
with
yeah,
law enforcement.
they will not go home. We'll just keep paying their salary, but they will be reassigned for other duties during the summer.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We've got 2 of these grants for the Brine Institute, I guess, or foundation. The first one is for domestic violence. So we applied for it last year, but now we have won that, $98,479. So is there a motion to ratify and accept that grant? Motion by Commissioner Thomas. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed? Nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Excuse me, this is the second one for the juvenile court. We've won this in the past, but again, we applied, and now we have won, and now we need to accept and ratify the grant for $78,184 for this year, and no match required for this one or the other one either. Any questions about this grant? A motion to ratify and accept? Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We have the Board of Elections, has some really old election equipment they would like to surplus, whatever a Baltar Flex model. It's not Dominion, because I might like to trash that myself, but it is these older, whatever, Baltar Flex.
Software.
It's soft.
ESNS is election systems and software.
Okay, and software, I'm sorry. I think it's the old scanner possibly, but I don't know what it is. In motion to surplus that old piece of equipment and software. Motion by Commissioner Thomas. Is there a second? Second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Our fire department, they gave me a demonstration of these Knox boxes a couple of months ago. They go into the fire trucks and allow us to securely keep keys to get into multifamily buildings, commercial buildings, apartments, condos, complexes, things like that. And we can outfit our trucks with the 2020 SPLOST for $24,989 with this secure way to access these buildings as well as the software for it.
So what is the cost of that?
$24,989.
Motion to
Multiple
approve.
trucks, I assume, yeah. And
Motion
it's,
to approve.
you can imagine, we don't want those keys getting out since they could get into buildings, so it has to be very secure. Motion by Commissioner Staton to approve, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Thomas. Any further discussion?
Yeah, have we ever done this before? Is this something?
The
we-
city has, I don't know if the county has.
I know I heard some people complaining about it with the city, because they
Oh,
was,
really?
they was having to buy a box to go on their wall.
The developer would have to outfit the building or the
Whoever owned
the
building.
plant or whatever. That's true, yeah. We have a box on our end, they have to have a box on their end, correct, yeah.
I always heard they just knock the door down, usually.
This
Boxes
it might
just
save
keep the
might save some doors, hopefully, and time. Main thing is it saves time, I think. Did I get a motion in a second? I think I did. Yep. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. This is our radio purchase. We did get an extra discount, so I appreciate our 911 or EMS director getting us an extra discount on our radios through Motorola. They're quite expensive, so saving an extra 12% off the state contract, which was already pre-negotiated, is great. And we'll be able to keep that. There's additional radios on the 2024 SPLOST, but these first 20 radios will go on the old 2020 SPLOST because we have a surplus there, so we're trying to spin that down.
That's
Motion.
116,000?
116,000, almost 117,000 for 20 radios, correct. Our current radios, of course, are getting pretty old, and so.
I guess part of this is probably going to the new SRO officers.
And also ones that are just worn out and broken, right? We can replace the batteries, but other than that, we really can't repair them after so many years. Now, they're all out of warranty, so they're on maintenance contracts, but they're out of warranty already.
Motion.
Motion by Commissioner Robbins, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. Parks and Recs has a nearly new 2011 Ford Escape with 140,000 miles, so definitely time to replace that little four-cylinder, put it on Gov Deals. So is there approval to surplus and put on Gov Deals?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Commissioner Staton, second by Commissioner Jones. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. We did have an issue with the sprinklers at Riverbend. I think we mentioned that a few months ago. It was already cleaned up, but we need to ratify the insurance claim where the sprinklers went off. There was no fire, but inadvertently set off, so we've modified the sprinklers, so hopefully that won't happen again. But we do need to collect the insurance payment of $50,000 for the damage to the floor. Motion to ratify the claim and accept the payment. Motion by Commissioner Robbins, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Staton. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. This is the item I mentioned earlier that was left off of the Public Works list off the original agenda. It's two of the F-150s. Not exactly like we bought for the sheriff, but similar, two for $110,600. That will go on the new SPLOST, and these are for new hires as we're trying to exceed our 30-mile paving for 2025. Any concerns or questions? Motion by Commissioner Jones. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Robbins. Any further discussion? All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed, nay. Passes on a 4-0 vote. All right, that's the items for the agenda. If there were some topics or comments from the public on any other items. Yep, feel free, just give us your name and address.
My name is Walt Caldwell. In 3688 Hurricane Road in Rocky Face. My question actually revolves around HR 581. Is the option to opt out of it being considered, or has that already been decided which way to go on that?
We have taken no action on that. We have to publish that in the newspaper and run ads and then have these 3 meetings, and we have done none of that because we're planning to stay in, which is automatic.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Means you don't have to do anything.
We don't have to do anything to stay in, and we've done
By
exactly that.
default,
We've
you
done
stay
nothing.
in. Right.
So we're
Okay.
staying in, right.
Perfect, thanks.
Other questions or comments? Just come to the front and just tell us your name and address.
Hello, I'm Ricky Wheat. I'm Wheat's Trucking. I'm a small business. I just got 2 trucks, but I've been doing it for 33 years. I've helped pave all these roads in Dalton with Dalton Paving. I'm sure a lot of y'all gentlemen remember them when they was in business. And I've been with the county for the last 2 years, and we always got the votes. You know, we #1 contractors. And this year we didn't get it, and was wondering why. Is there a reason why we didn't get #1, or, and, cause we're always on time, and we're always, you know, we're always there, we ain't ever miss a day. And I was just wondering if there's anything that we did.
Well, you're
Wrong
definitely
or
approved, you're definitely a contractor, but as far as why you're #1 or #2, we go by the staff and what they recommend.
I don't know if Kim Benson's here tonight, but either Kim Benson or Brian Brackett, they're the ones who
Right.
handle, so you need to speak to them. These fellows don't open the
Don't do
bids.
nothing with that?
No, well, they approve the contracts, but as far as the bidding process, that's the staff.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, you'll still get business, but technically you're #2 like you saw, but I understand you always want to be #1,
So I
but yeah,
need-
they can give you some details on where you can
Talk to
improve.
Kent Benson?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, buddy.
Thank you.
Y'all have a great night.
Any other comments or questions?
I'm Rita Jackson from Jackson Truck.
You go a little bit further, yeah, okay, yeah, now say.
I was reading where y'all said we cost y'all money last year. I didn't get the bid last year. I just called, if Chris called, I would send a truck. But I've got 9 trucks and 4 tractor and trailers, so I can't wait until the next day to send them to work. So if he calls like 7, 8 o'clock in the morning, my truck's already gone. But we helped out, you know, and I feel
Fill
like
in.
I said, so we got the bid this year, but I don't understand why you're paying somebody more than we would do it for.
I guess check with Kent, that's the same thing, it was their recommendation based on just past experience.
Okay, thank you.
Other questions or comments? All right, we're going to go into executive session for real estate, and we will come out and adjourn, but we will not take any other action, both either in the executive session or after we come out to adjourn. So you're welcome to stay, but there was nothing else that will happen out here. Is there a motion to go into executive session for real estate? Motion by Commissioner Jones, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Thomas. All in favor, raise your hand or say aye. Any opposed?